Hey everybody, welcome to Bristol CT Sports Talk. Today I'm lucky enough to have Gregg Hunt, coach of the Bristol Blues. Gregg, you are what I call a lifer. You've been involved in coaching for a long time. Can you give us a little bit about that history?
Well, I was very fortunate when I got out of college to get a job at the Gilbert School in Winston, where I worked under former major leaguer Mo Morehart, who also coached at the University of Hartford in Western Connecticut. And probably he is the best baseball coach I've ever met. And I learned a lot from him, and I moved on from there. And I coached high school at Thomaston, Terryville, before I coached the Torrington Twisters for 11 years.
Right.
And we had some very, very good teams in Torrington. After that, I moved on to the Manchester Silkworms. After the Twisters moved, I did a team in Torrington in the Atlantic Collegiate Baseball League, and then the Futures League first year. And then for the last 12 years, I've been the deputy commissioner of the league, but I'm really glad to be back on the field this year.
And it's great to have you here. A lot of history. What must be really pretty difficult to handle college kids and their coaches and their playing time in the summer? How do you juggle that?
Well, you've got to honor their wishes. I can't send them back damaged products, so they come, and it's a lot different than it was 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I used to hand the ball to my starting pitcher, and I got 6 or 7 innings out of them every night. Now the starting pitchers go 3-4 innings, then you bring in more guys. I have more pitchers on my roster here in Bristol than I used to have total players in Torrington. 25 pitchers.
Wow.
But it's not like we have a ton of guys go every night. There's the kids are high velocity now. It takes longer to recover. Coaches give us innings limits. I never had innings limits before this year. We can respect that. We just have to sit down and make sure we use the kids properly.
Right. And now you've been with the NECBL for 12 years.
Since 1997.
And you've helped them grow. What is the biggest changes you've seen in the league?
Well, we used to have 5 teams in Connecticut, which was really nice for travel. And when we used to travel more than like an hour and a half, we played double headers. Now we're traveling 4 hours or more sometimes, coming back on the same day. It's a little bit different. The technology we have now in the NECBL is unbelievable. We have the TrackMan stuff that we get a lot of money for the league to provide Major League Baseball with that data. And also, we've gone from, we used to have an internet broadcast network. Now we have ESPN Plus. We have the NECBL network. It's just a totally different game as far as the stuff outside the field. On the field, it's still real good quality.
It's great base. I've said that. I've seen the quality of the player coming into Bristol improve each year, and it's really great. You are in the thick of things right now in the Southern Division. What's your outlook for the playoff run here?
Well, we've had a lot of player turnover in the last 2 weeks. We've got we have about half our roster is new in the last 2 weeks. So we're learning what we have. We've lost some very, very good players, but we'll make do with what we have. Today we're playing for first place. And we're basically in a 4-game season now, and we want to do everything we can to win our division. When we're done with the regular season, we'll talk about moving on in the playoffs. But I think we've got enough to bring a championship to this.
Rick, thanks so much for coming on with me today. And if you're looking to stay up to date on the current schedules and scores, follow us on Facebook, Bristol CT Sports. Thanks, and have a good night. Thanks, Greg.
All right, that was great.